So we have created this collection in the last video of category, and in this video we are going to try out the CRUD, that is creating, updating, getting the document and deleting that document. Document is just an entry in a collection. So in this category collection we are going to make multiple entries of the different category. So let's do that. Hey everyone, this is Kamran and I'm a full stack web developer, and in this video series I'm teaching MongoDB to beginners. And so if you are new here, hit the subscribe button and share the video with all other developers who wants to learn MongoDB from scratch in a simplified way. So now let's talk about the document. So document is a single entry in the collection. This is the simplified definition. So in terms of relational database, you can say document is a row of a table. Now let's try to play around a document. So before getting into the application using Mongoose, we are going to do these CRUD operation using the MongoDB CLI. So in the CLI, last time we created this collection name as users. We can use this collection or we can even create new. So let's use this only. So first I'm going to create a new document inside this collection, and then I'm going to get it. And once I get it, I can then move the next step. So in order to add a document in our collection, we can use insert method. So how to use this collection now? We can use this using db dot name of the collection, that will be user, and dot, and then we can insert method. So insert will be a method, and inside this you just have to pass the object of that document. So I'm going to add a simple object in which we are going to have just name. So this is the simplest I can use. So once I do this, so you can see n inserted is equals to 1, which means that number of elements inserted is 1. So now let's try to find this. So how to find this? The simplest method, which is find. So instead of insert, I will say find, and I will hit enter. So once I hit enter, I will get this name as Kamran. So in this collection we have only one document, so this is returning, right? And in this find we can also add some query or criteria on which the MongoDB will find the documents which will match the exact criterias. So now we know that we already have these two document in our database. So in this find, I can add a criteria or a filter which the MongoDB will try to match and return the document accordingly. So I can add that name should be Kamran. And once I hit enter, you can see that only Kamran document is returning. So similarly, if I want to get the first document which match the criteria, so I can use find one. So this will return the first document which will match the criteria. And this is how you can use find and find one, and you can use find with some extra filters. So now if I want to update any of these documents, how I can do that? I can use another method which is known as update. So let's do that. So update, and here I have to pass two things. So first will be the criteria which should match, or the filter which we can use. So I want the document whose ID is this. I want to update this document. And in the second parameter, we have to pass the actual value which we want to update. So I want to update the name, right? So this 39 Sheikh, I want to update it to code with Kamran. So I will say that name should be updated to code with Kamran, and then I hit enter. So here in the response you can see that n matched is 1. That means this particular criteria matched with single document, and that is modified. So a modified is also 1. So now once you hit find, then you will get two different documents. One will be the code with Kamran, and if you see the ID, it is same as Sheikh which we have updated. So this is the exact same document, but the name is updated now. So now we have created a new document. We found it from the database and we updated the value in that document. Now we want to remove this document. So for that I'm going to use a new method name as remove, and in this remove we can pass the criteria. So this will find this document and will delete this. So once I hit enter, you can see here n removed is equals to 1. N stands for number of, so number of documents removed is 1. So once I hit find again, you can see only Kamran is returning and code with Kamran is removed from our database. Now we have run all the CRUD operations on the documents from the terminal, and we are going to do the same in our application. Let's do that. So in our application, you remember we have already passed this to our middleware, right? So this I'm going to get in our APIs, and we will perform this MongoDB CRUD operation. So for that, let's get into our category routes. So in this index here params, we have already passed this or to all the APIs. So first thing which we are going to do is to get like add a new category, right? So I will open this one. So now in this add category API, I'm just first let's close all others. So in this add category API, we are adding the category in our text file. So I'm going to remove all these, and I'm going to use our MongoDB model to insert the document inside our database. So for that, first I'm going to create a instance of our model, right? So let's do that. So we're going to create a category, and this will be an instance of our MongoDB schema, right? So here instead of params, I can also get MongoDB, and this MongoDB I can use as this. So this will be MongoDB.models. So in this last video, we saw how to use this. So dot models dot category, and this will be our schema. So I'm going to pass this new category inside this, and after this I just have to save it. So I will await, and I will say category dot save. If you want to see the output, you can also get this output inside a variable and see that. So this await is showing error, so I have to add async over here so that await will work properly. Now let's try to hit this API and get the output. So for that, I'm going to use Postman. So for Postman, I'm going to use localhost 5000 slash category, and this is the way to hit the category API, and this will be a post because we have to add that, right? So before entering, we have to add the body as well. So we will add a raw body, and in this I'm going to add an application. So how this is expected? This is expected inside a key as a category, right? So let's do that category, and the value will be an object in which we will have name, and here I will add my name as a name. So I will be the category in my application, and also I'm going to add a URL. So let's add URL. So this is just a dummy data right now I'm adding to demonstrate the use of the MongoDB. You have to add a proper name and URL in this application. So once I hit enter, so you see that I got the response of the same category. So that means this API ran successfully. And how to know that? For that, I'm going to make the changes in our get API as well. So I will go to this list, and here I'm going to make the changes. So let's do that. So MongoDB, and this MongoDB I'm going to use inside this. So instead of reading from the category file, I'm going to use await and MongoDB dot same, right? So models dot category dot find. So we have already used this find, so I'm going to use this again, and whatever I'm going to get in this, I will return this. I will add async to avoid the await error, and this data I'm going to return this in this, right? So let's test this out as well. So I'm going to copy this and paste in a new tab, get, yes, hit category ID is missing. So I want to get the list, so I have to use another API with /list, and once I hit enter, I'm getting old one because I haven't restarted my server. You don't repeat the same error, just restart your server and it will work fine. So now here you can see that the new document has been added with name Kamran as URL Kamran, right? So we created insert and list. Now we'll try to make the change in the update API. So I will open this update, and here I have this file updation. I will just remove this and we'll reuse our MongoDB. So let's do that. Here I will say MongoDB, and this MongoDB I'm going to use it, and I will get the response in a variable. Response in this variable, and this I will await and MongoDB dot models dot category dot update, and in this update I will pass a condition, right? So let's do that condition, and we will pass the category over here, and this condition we have to create, right? So let's do that. So I'll say constant condition is equals to an object in which I'm going to pass a name, and the name I can take it from category dot name, right? So let's do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update document using the name. So I will update the URL, and here I have to add a sync to avoid the await error. I will add this response in the API response itself. Let's try to run this API and see. And here I will say localhost and category, right? So category, and to update we are going to we have to use put, right, as we remember, and in the body we have to pass this body. So I will just copy paste this one, and in the body we are going to add a JSON. So I can update the category on name. So I will update this URL. So instead of Kamran, I will pass URL as a URL. That's it. And once I hit send, in the response you will see that we got the response from the MongoDB, which says that modify count is 1 and match count is 1. That means that the condition met is 1 whose name was Kamran, and it was updated. So now you learn how you can insert a new document in the MongoDB database, and how you can get that list, and also how you can update that, right? So now let's meet in the next video with new operations on MongoDB. Till that, keep practicing by creating subcategory and product API CRUD operations. Thanks everyone. See you in the next video.